One of the less modern communities where inquiries regarding private matters, especially one's intimate life, are uncommon are the Amish. However, there are a lot of individuals who don't know about the hidden things that Amish women do. As we delve more into their culture, we see how stringent regulations affect every aspect of their existence, from the rituals of passage into maturity to the standards that govern their physical appearance. Get ready to see a world that is completely different from ours. Number 5, no pictures. Consider a world devoid of selfies. I know it sounds completely absurd, that's just the way Amish ladies do it. No, I woke up like this moments, selfies, belfies, or hot dog legs on the beach. Why? There are serious concerns about photographs among the Amish. An Amish person's photo is called a graven image, which means more than just a photo. Can you define a graven image for me? The Amish see this as a major sin since it amounts to making the subject of the photo an idol. I doubt you'll ever see an Amish woman posing for a photo. The Amish choose to remain in the background and not participate in the selfie trend, unlike celebrities, popes, astronauts, presidents, and even animals. However, it is difficult to say. Maybe the Amish will post some serious selfies with their horse-drawn carts someday. If they opt to participate in the photo ops, we will be present. Men and women of the Amish community shun cameras like the plague because it gives the impression of being ostentatious. Posing for a picture is looked down upon. The Amish value humility highly, and taking a stand goes against that philosophy. The point is that not all Amish see this rule in the same light. Some people are more tolerant and will pose for pictures so long as they aren't the center of attention. To succeed, one must strike a balance between being fully present and allowing their pride get in the way. Then there's the loophole for candid photos. As long as it's not an organized event, some Amish are cool with having their photo taken. It's not the photo per se that's offensive, but the pose itself. Take a woman by surprise and she might be game for an impromptu photo session. The Amish persist in their customs despite dodging the prying eyes of selfie-obsessed social media users. It's not about being awkward in front of the camera, it's about being true to yourself and not letting pride get in the way. The Amish maintain a way of life undisturbed by photography, which allows them to enjoy simplicity even in their approach to taking images. While the rest of the world is caught up with taking pictures, the Amish maintain their dedication to a simpler, less photographed life, which offers a refreshing viewpoint in our image-obsessed culture. Whether they participate in the selfie trend or not, it's clear that they value simplicity. Number 4, no haircuts. The Amish women's practice of not cutting their hair is one distinctive feature of their culture. I get it, getting a haircut is just a natural part of growing up. No, and I'll tell you why. Among Amish people, a woman's hair is considered her most valuable asset according to biblical tradition. God has bestowed upon it something sacred. It is not merely a bunch of strands. This view has the full backing of the religiously devout Amish women. In an Amish woman's salon, you won't see her perusing hairstyle publications. Their hair, on the other hand, follows a different trajectory. Long and flowing. A common hairstyle among Amish women is a bun or braid, but there's a catch. They won't let it droop. A white bonnet or cap is worn by them whenever they step outside the home. They wear it as a sign of humility and reverence for their hair, which is considered a sacred blessing. Getting a haircut is considered by Amish women as going against their deeply held religious beliefs and thus against God's will. Faith and devotion are more important than passing fads. A lifetime of this practice could be possible. No snips are necessary for an Amish woman's entire life. The Amish take the Bible's prohibition of shaving a woman seriously. On the contrary, long hair is a sign of an Amish woman's commitment to her beliefs. It's a peculiar voyage where religious devotion is entwined with hair. But strict regulations are not imposed only on women. The Amish also have their own set of regulations that limit the freedom of men. Beards must remain unshaven after marriage. Concurrently, it's a commitment to preserving the group's defining customs and ideas. The Amish are extremely stringent about their hair rules, and they go beyond just the length of hair. In addition to not getting haircuts, they also don't shave certain areas such as their legs and underarms. Every lock of hair is revered as a holy symbol, a promise that God is there in this holistic approach. Curiously, the Amish view the act of cutting a woman's hair as a hate crime on par with the most heinous crimes. It's deeply ingrained in their views, going beyond a mere personal choice. Actually, there have been cases of someone being tried for the violent or fraudulent act of cutting off the hair of an Amish woman. This rite is very important to the Amish, and it shows knows that. Remember the Amish technique of cutting hair, which incorporates religious devotion into each individual strand the next time you think about getting a fresh trim. This practice helps the Amish maintain their faith and identity. Immersed in tradition, with every twist and turn, the unique journey of an Amish woman's hair becomes a significant religious symbol instead than a matter of personal taste. Number 3, no formal education. Picture a world where the 8th grade is the last year of compulsory schooling for Amish youth. You read it right, the only requirements are an understanding of the Amish culture and an absence of school instruction and textbooks. Following 8th grade, practical education is often the next step for Amish boys. On a farm, they might learn all about farming and the intricate procedures involved in cultivating the soil. Another option would be for them to become apprentices in local businesses, where they might learn a trade that would eventually allow them to provide for their family. Education for Amish children entails more than just reading about the world. It is an opportunity to learn the practical skills that allow them to maintain their unique culture and way of life. Our focus will now be on Amish women. Although their path diverges greatly, for them, formal education ceases at 8th grade. Although some students may choose to pursue careers in education after finishing 8th grade, there is a catch. They are required to leave their teaching profession as soon as they tie the knot. After finishing elementary education, most Amish women dive headfirst into domestic matters. Formal education beyond 8th grade is unnecessary, according to the Amish, whose society dispels the sound of school bells by the age of 14. They think that with this degree, they have all the knowledge they need to succeed in Amish culture. This notion is deeply ingrained in their religion and is also widely held in their culture. Really, the Amish have won their case in the U.S. Supreme Court, arguing that additional teaching is both superfluous and contrary to their religious principles. High school and college education are foreign concepts to the Amish educational environment, since most Amish students attend schools administered by Amish. Think of an Amish school where the kids learn traditional subjects and the values of the Amish way of life. In accordance with community standards, their curriculum cultivates not just intellect, but also character via an emphasis on submission and teamwork. The typical Amish girl starts her educational journey at the age of 5 or 6, and by the time she is 13 or 14, the doors to the classroom close. After that, the majority of Amish women stop caring about school. Rather than receiving more information throughout those critical years, they end up teaching others. But they return to the conventional views of housewifery and homemaking. Amish women, who are expected to submit to their husbands at a young age, go on a path of self-discovery after turning 14 years old. Their education is evaluated not by academic credentials, but by the skills and principles that uphold their unique lifestyle. It's a way of life where the discipline of everyday labor, the skill of raising a family, and the quiet strength that supports Amish culture are all manifestations of the knowledge and abilities acquired in school. Number 2, no proper wedding dress. Let us examine the inventiveness of Amish weddings now, when the bride plays an active role and also contributes her own ideas. When it comes to finding the perfect wedding gown, Amish women often take things into their own hands, figuratively speaking, of course. Not only is the Amish wedding attire uncommon, but it is also seen as a sign of pride and vanity. Blue and indigo are the colors that are preferred instead. The Amish value honesty, integrity, and devotion, and the color blue is a symbol of these values. The spiritual undertones of the garment are enhanced by the use of indigo, a color often linked with heaven and eternity. Their skill and devotion to tradition are on full display in the wedding gowns they weave themselves. Sewing a wedding dress for an Amish bride is an act of devotion motivated by reverence for simplicity and modesty. The simple silhouette of the dresses, which end at the calf, is a symbol of a life lived without showiness. The Amish believe that weddings should be simple ceremonies that center on the sacred union of husband and wife rather than on showy decorations. Quite the contrary, these bridal gowns aren't reserved for special events. Actually, every Sunday, an Amish woman puts on her wedding gown 52 times a year. It symbolizes a lifelong bond to one's faith and community, as well as one's marital commitment. After the first weekend of celebrations and Sunday brunch, what becomes of these bridal gowns? The Amish are known for their practicality, thus these clothes will still be used after the wedding. Laid to rest in her hand-sewn wedding veil is a common practice for Amish women. The white apron, prayer cap, and cloak that she wore on her wedding day became garments that bridged the gap between the spiritual and material worlds. It's a fresh spin on the traditional wedding dress, the kind of clothing that merges into the fabric of everyday Amish life rather than being tied to any one particular occasion. In a world where trends come and go, the wedding gown of an Amish woman stands as a symbol of eternal love and a connection to her community's heritage. Number 1. No makeup or jewelry. First, let's talk about makeup, something that many people in the real world do every day. Makeup, on the other hand, is considered as an affectation from the outside world by Amish people rather than a mere cosmetic option. Makeup, so the thinking goes, hides one's genuine self. They fear falling into the pitfalls of worldly pride and vanity if they let themselves be influenced by the world around them. Even though it's generally recommended that you stay away from cosmetics, there's a little twist to the story. Light makeup is a way for some Amish women to get around this cultural norm, a subtle defiance within the bounds of convention. It is a precarious equilibrium, maybe some lipstick or rouge, a small nod to individuality within the bounds of social norms. And next, we'll talk about jewelry, an item that has always been closely associated with a person's sense of style and self-expression throughout various cultures, but the Amish have a distinct take on jewelry. This goes beyond superficial considerations. It mirrors more profound cultural values. Jewelry, like cosmetics, is considered unnecessary and vain by the Amish. Think of an Amish woman. She wears modest clothing, her hands are ringless, and her ears don't have any heavy earrings. It is a deliberate choice to maintain modesty, as well as a cultural tradition to not wear jewelry. The Amish society prioritizes internal ideals over outward ornamentation, which is a stark contrast to the culture around them. Rumspringa, though, adds a fascinating turn to the plot. Amish youths go on a journey of discovery called Rumspringa when they reach a specific age. Yes, students are given the opportunity to wear cosmetics during this period, which allows them to explore portions of the outside world that are generally banned. In the midst of the English world's vibrant hues, Amish teenagers try out makeup at Rumspringa. During this time of discovery, the boundaries between the inside and the outside of one's culture could momentarily become less distinct. The Amish find a method to express themselves through makeup, which helps them interact with the wider cultural world. I hope you found this video entertaining. Next time, we'll see you.